Hi, everybody. It's been a while. Almost forgot how to do this. So New Year's is always an interesting time. I really like it. It's a chance for a new beginning. You can both reflect on what has happened and also kind of think about what you want to try and attempt to do over the next year. I think it's a great holiday. Obviously, a lot of holidays are just kind of fabricated. New Year's is one that I think is a good one. And really, it's always this kind of game of trying to figure out ways to motivate yourself. There's a lot of things that kind of come naturally to me, but other times, you're trying to find stuff. Maybe it's a video that motivates you. Maybe you learn something that motivates you. Maybe it's, some music or something like that. But I do think that the holiday itself, New Year's, is a good one. It allows me to think about things. But let's specifically talk about VeVe here and digital collectibles, NFTs, whatever you want to call them. Kind of some madness this year in general. I will talk specifically kind of about three things, and then I want to talk about how they project forward and what they mean. So in terms of VeVe, I always had a great year. They did a lot of different things, but one of the biggest pivotal pieces, I think, was seeing them both in the booth in multiple different Comic-Cons. They were in the Marvel booth, right with Marvel. Their logo sitting right next to them was really significant, I think. And really, I think when you project that forward, really helps establish the brand. I don't think we may even understand how significant that was. The other one is Marvel, even when things started to kind of really pull back over the summer, and obviously some of the other stuff that happened later in the year that I'll talk about in a second. They kept going, and they have entrusted, and I use the word entrust. I think it's a trust is the right word, with Amazing Fantasy 15, which is perhaps their biggest comic of all. They dropped that one. We were able to grab some of those. It's held pretty well from a value perspective, and I just think that's fascinating. I do believe that with the revenue that Marvel's able to make for all of these past comics, it's a no-brainer. This is not going to stop. It's going to continue to move forward, and it's just going to be up to really the world to understand or want, and they may not, all of these digital collectibles and digital comics. So that's my first one, is the significance of the interaction with VeVe and Marvel and how their partnership has continued to stay strong. And as we know, even last week, they dropped Journey into Mystery 83, the first appearance of Thor, which is a huge book. So we have a lot more to come, I'm sure. Incredible Hulk #1, X-Men #1, a lot of great comics we should look forward to over the next year. So I'm excited for that. So that's the first thing. The second thing I have, which is kind of combined with the third thing, but the second thing I have is they were able to achieve cash out. And this is something that they had talked about a lot. People had fudded a lot. I even got a little worried in the end. But no, you can... if you had 1,000 gems, you were able to take those and cash out to a bank account. And now they've even changed it. If you have 500 gems, you can now cash out. There are some fees. People don't like those fees. There's always fees. We'll see if some of those go down over time. But I think it was a very difficult piece of functionality, and they were able to achieve it. I know there are some countries that still aren't able to do it, so they're still working to that. I know they initially had some sort of deal where you could actually cash out for crypto. They may bring that back. I'm not sure where that is at anymore, but I think it's probably imminent, and when the time is right, they will bring that back. But that was a huge event, and that kind of speaks to, and obviously that continues to allow VeVe, this particular project, to move forward. I think without that cash out feature, that was always a looming question that, as you were trying to onboard people, you would say you can't get your money out, and that was always, people got a little bit nervous. And that brings me to the third point that we saw this year. And that is really, I think you can't sugarcoat any way, is kind of the collapse of crypto. And of course, that was led by FTX over the last couple months. So interesting to watch it kind of melt down that 1 week over Twitter. And it's, I think people are learning more and more about what happened. We're learning more and more about what happened. And obviously there is, it looks like a tremendous amount of fraud and other things. Just really too bad for the industry, for crypto, everything. And unfortunately, I think it looks like a lot of people lost a bunch of money, which is totally terrible. But I'll bring it back to a couple things with VeVe. Number one is, I think if that would have happened and VeVe would not have been able to achieve cash out yet, it would have been, I don't think it would be catastrophic, but it definitely would have been a massive problem. Because there is still one of the problems with VeVe is decentralization of our collectibles on app. We can't put them, in cold storage or anything like that. And so I think one of the things that you learned at FTX is you didn't want to store your crypto and other things on a centralized exchange. We have that scenario here with VeVe. So that will be something that they will have to overcome. But I think with the ability to cash out and the fact that the brands that are supporting VeVe are so strong and have been around so long, I think that has really helped it weather the storm. And I think it will continue in the future. And that kind of brings me to my last point, which is, I don't know if you can get, you can get lower than we are now, but from an overall market sentiment, I don't know if you can get much lower. Literally anybody you talk to is down on crypto, down on NFTs, feels like it's a rug pull, feels like it's a scam, feels like it's a Ponzi. And so I think, obviously I don't agree with that. I still think that the technology of blockchain is incredible, is going to continue to grow. I also think that digital collectibles in one way, shape, or form is going to be a thing going forward. Now, once again, is it going to be the biggest thing? I don't know. Is it going to be only a couple 10,000 people that'll ever do it? I don't know. But it's going to be a thing, and we're seeing that. We obviously have a good core group people here on VeVe. There are other projects like the Backhouse that I'm really interested in. Some of the other projects like Broadside, other things that are coming on right now. So digital collecting is going to be a thing. I think it's completely different, and I've talked a little bit about that on this channel of how the different utility pieces are different than anything we've seen, or at least I've seen yet with collecting. And so I'm up for another round. And so that kind of closes the year. As I said, when you think about the past, you think about the future. I still am very bullish on what I think is going to happen. Very intrigued. I do think it's going to be another 12 to 18 months. That's what all the kind of pundits, experts, etc. say based on macro events. And I do believe it's going to take some time to dig out just the overall sentiment with what happened with FTX and some of the other things with crypto. So it'll be interesting. I really appreciate everybody this year that has watched this channel, supported me. It's been a great ride. And really the highlight for me was going to LA, meeting a lot of you in person. Hopefully I'll be able to do that again next year and meet some new people that I haven't met before, meet some old friends. But I thank you all. Happy New Year, and I'll talk to y'all soon.